You're listening to Sox in the Basement, a production of the Broadcast Basement Limited, where every show is 30 minutes of good and comes from a basement bar on the south side of Chicago. Pull up a stool, pour a cold one, and join us right now for Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. And welcome into Sox in the Basement. My name is Chris Lanuti, belly on up to my 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. The 2020 White Sox simulated season continues today. And tomorrow, once again, Dave and myself back together as Sox in the Basement comes back with that 30 minutes of Sox that you've come to expect for the last 2 years, each and every Wednesday. It's all brought to you by Cork and Carry at the Park at 33rd and Princeton, now open and opening up a little bit more during Phase 4, which should be happening this weekend. And remember the recaps over at SoxOn35th.com. If you checked them out yesterday, you already know what I'm going to tell you. After a very tough road trip, the White Sox returned to Chicago yesterday in an unaired game, the first of 4 against Detroit. The Sox, after losing 2 out of 3 just this past week, took on Michael Fulmer, who had shut them down in Game 2 last week. He looked really good for the first 2 innings. Yoan Moncada comes to the plate with 2 on and blasts a 3-run home run into left center field. Later on in the inning, Luis Robert came up to the plate and singled in 2 with 2 outs. And the White Sox held a 5-0 lead. Gio Gonzalez went 7, giving up only 3 runs. And the 5 runs in the 3rd inning were all that the White Sox needed, with Aaron Bummer and Steve Cishek pitching the 8th and the 9th. Sox win 5-3 and take the first of this 4-game set, moving back to 15 games over 500 and within 5.5 of the first-place Twins, still sitting a game back from the Indians. Game 2, today, Daniel Norris and Reynaldo Lopez. We head out now to Guaranteed Rate Field, where the 47-32 White Sox take on the 26-52 Detroit Tigers. Here on Sox in the Basement, found everywhere podcasts can be found and always at soxinthebasement.com. Guaranteed Rate Field, south side of Chicago. A little overcast this evening as the White Sox take on the Detroit Tigers for Game 2 of their 4-game weekday series. My name is Chris Lanuti. Welcome to this simulation using MLB The Show 20 here on Sox in the Basement, brought to you by Cork and Carry at the Park. Reynaldo Lopez, 15 starts, 4-4 record, 3.86 ERA, 86 1/3 innings with 70 hits and 34 walks. That's a whip of 1.20. He also has 68 strikeouts. He stands out on the mound right now getting ready for Game 2 of this series. The Sox swept Detroit earlier in the month here in Chicago, then lost 2 out of 3 in Detroit. We won yesterday, and we're looking to pick ourselves up after a very difficult 3-6 road trip, and a good start was winning last night. First pitch to Victor Reyes, bunted down the third base line, picked up by Danny Mendick, who's playing third. Over the first, he's going to get him. That pitch at 7-11, and this game is underway. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the first inning, and Harold Castro's hitting .325. 6 homers and 24 RBI, a .353 on-base percentage. Going around the horn, let's tell you where everybody's playing. McCann's behind the plate. Encarnacion's at first, while Abreu DHs. This one's lifted down the third base line, foul. 0-1 the count. Second base, Madrigal. Shortstop, Anderson. Third base, Yoan Moncada is out today. Instead, Danny Mendick will hold it down there. Left field, Eloy Jimenez. Center field, Luis Robert. And in right, Adam Engel, who hasn't gotten a start out there for a week. Four-seamer outside, misses. 1-2 the count currently. Next pitch is high, 2-2 the count is even. Now he grounds this one over to second base. Madrigal's going to scoop and throw. 4-3 put out, 2 gone. Right away here in the first inning for the White Sox. Sox are wearing the pinstripes with the sleeveless jerseys and the black shirts underneath them, a la 1999. Miguel Cabrera comes to the plate now with 2 outs, 28 RBI and only 9 home runs to go with his .249 average. In the twilight of a career, but he has had some power against the Sox and had a few really good hits in that series back in Detroit. First pitch misses, next one inside, popped up down the third base line. Encarnacion is going to scoop it out of the air. A 1-2-3 inning. Nothing leaves the infield. Lopez will go take a seat. He'll think about the second inning. Meanwhile, the White Sox coming up here. No score. Daniel Norris, 15 starts at a 1-9 record. 5.03 ERA over 78 2/3 innings, 91 hits, 24 walks. That gives him a whip of 1.46 and 65 strikeouts to boot. His only win of the season against the White Sox, Game 3 of the series this team had less than a week ago in Detroit. Tim Anderson's hitting .328. He leads off. He had yesterday off. First pitch low and away. It misses, 1-0 the count. Yesterday's game, the power of Yoan Moncada and some timely hitting by Luis Robert as pretty much the entire order, in fact everybody I think, came to the plate at some point during the third inning. They chased the starting pitcher Fulmer. They put up 5, nothing else in that game for the Sox. The pitching took over, 5-3 victory. A 1-1 pitch in the outside corner goes for a strike, 1-2 now to Anderson on a four-seamer. Definitely in the zone on the corner. The lefty Norris now gets him to chase a changeup, swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. So Anderson does not start off very well. 1 gone. And Danny Mendick's going to come up. He's batting in the 2-hole today and playing third base. Sox trying a little bit of a different lineup with a lefty on the mound. Abreu's moved back up in the order for this game. Statistically, he's been hitting lefties much harder. And because of that, he'll bat third in this game. Also, you think about the fact the normal number 3 hitter, since about a week ago when Moncada took over that position. Before that was Abreu. With Moncada out, it makes sense. Ground ball over to short, a spinning throw, and Mendick is out by a hair. Nice play over at shortstop. There's 2 gone. Norris only 6 pitches. He has 2 outs. And here comes Abreu hitting .274. Still leading in the American League first base all-star vote. He stands in. He waves the bat a little bit. Like I said, he's been hitting lefties a lot better. He swings and misses at that one, though, from Norris. 0-1 the count. He's 9 for 23 lifetime against Norris. A low outside slider misses, 1-1 the count. And that's over a 400 average against the guy. Next pitch, rocketed back towards center field. It will not drop in. Nice running play made near the track. So Abreu gives it a bit of a ride, but after 1, nobody has gotten a hit or reached base on either team. We go to the top of the second here at the rate. Jonathan Schoop is going to lead off. He's hitting .240. 16 homers, 37 RBI, 744 OPS. You're listening to Sox in the Basement, the podcast for fans, by fans, every game simulated since opening day. Just recently, in fact, yesterday was the first time we didn't do a game. We just did a simulation and gave the stats to Sox on 35th. We'll be doing that for any Monday games or Wednesday now going forward, as long as there's still have a chance for a Major League Baseball season. As this one is grounded in front of the plate, picked up by McCann, the catcher, down to Encarnacion at first, 1 gone. On the 2-3 putout, here comes Cameron Maybin. We believe baseball is coming back. I know there's a lot of hemming and hawing here, but I believe they're going to get this done. Reading between the lines. If it does get done, we want Sox in the Basement to be ready to cover White Sox baseball. So we're going to start diving back into that on Wednesdays while we continue this simulated season. 2-0 now to Maybin from Lopez. 1 gone here in the top of the second, nobody on. But the result of the game yesterday, a win. SoxOn35th.com had the recap. It's still there if you want to go check that out. If you want to see yesterday, they'll have the recap for this game after you're done listening. 3-0 out of the count on a fastball that misses low. Lopez winds, hits the inside corner on a 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer. 3-1 the count. The kick and the throw, and a curveball's fouled off that was in the zone. Count is full now to Maybin. 16 pitches so far for Lopez. Next one on the inside corner just misses. A four-seamer. Lopez wanted it. Very close call. Probably more of the ball outside of the zone than in it. The batter gets the call. Christian Stewart comes up hitting .311. The lefty has 5 home runs and 24 RBI. And now a runner on first base with 1 out. Lopez, the righty, toes the rubber in the pitch. Inside curveball, 74 miles an hour, low and inside, called ball 1. The next offering, low and away, a four-seamer misses, 2-0. Cincinnati leading the Cubs 2-0 early in their game. Philadelphia in Atlanta up 1-0 in the second. Inside slider misses, 3-0, so he was 3-0 to the last batter. Fought back to a full count and missed on a pitch. Now he's 3-0 here to Stewart. And a strike down the middle, 3-1 the count. The Dodgers in Arizona leading 3-1 right now. A weird start time for them. This one's fouled off, count is full. So 2 batters in a row go 3-0. He walked the first one on the full count. Let's see what happens here. Shot out to center and a diving play by Luis Robert coming across. It was hard to track that ball in the overcast skies for myself. You just saw Robert running towards right field. And as the ball is getting into the gap, he lays out, catches it, and rolls. Base runner has to run all the way back around second to first. He had to touch it. He was already rounding second. So now the runner on first with good speed and Maben. And 2 outs for Jake Rogers hitting 159, the catcher. Has actually knocked in 2 runs over his last 3 games. They have 3 catchers right now on this team, and they rotate them a lot. 0-1 the count here. If you remember, Rogers was the only catcher that could slow down the White Sox run game to date. An outside pitch misses, 1-1 the count. Good speed over at first. Detroit not running as of yet. Big lead. Inside pitch, four-seamer misses, 97 miles an hour up and in. So now 2-1 with 2 outs here at the top of the second inning. Lopez waits for the sign from McCann. And now a pop-up down the first base line before first base in foul territory. Encarnacion will extend the glove and make the catch. And the inning is over. So in the end, Lopez walks 1 and hangs in there. Big defensive play from Robert. No score midway through the second. Eloy Jimenez, 267, 14 home runs. He's been on 14 home runs for a month now. Jimenez had 14 home runs on Memorial Day weekend. It is now June the 23rd. He has 14 home runs. A ball down the first base line hooks foul, and he's quickly 0-2 here. The average sits at 267. We've seen it between 265, 275 throughout that time. He's still getting base hits, but the power stroke is missing. A 1-2 pitch now on the way, fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Norris's next pitch, jam shot, line drive. Cabrera picks it out of the air. Down the first base line, 1 gone. Eloy struggling with getting the ball out of the yard. Here's Edwin. Encarnacion is hitting 267 as well, 16 homers and 39 RBI. Norris into the line, the lefty delivers. First pitch sent out into deep left field near the track. It'll be caught. 1 foot on the track, 1 foot on the grass. 1 pitch, 1 out, 2 gone in the inning. And James McCann will come up quickly. So an anxious Encarnacion. Norris only has 15 pitches through 5 outs. White Sox not doing a good job of making him work. And that was the problem against him in the last game. McCann is 4 for 7 against him lifetime with a home run. He's hitting .344 in limited action as a backup this year. And he's quickly 1-1 in the count on a high pitch he takes and an outside pitch that he fouls down the first base line. Into the wind in the pitch. This one's cracked over to short. Scooped up. Easy play. 6-3 put out. Picked out of the dirt by the first baseman. And the inning is over. So the White Sox bats again find this Norris guy perplexing. Everybody else in the league can hit him. We go down right away, yet again, after 2 no score. Niko Goodrum, he's a shortstop. He's got 5 homers and 24 RBI. 2 of his home runs against the White Sox last week. He's hitting .221 on the season. The lefty stands in against Lopez, who is sitting on 27 pitches through 2 innings. First pitch high and tight for a fastball. Up in the zone. Madrigal's back in shallow right. Anderson on the other side of second, and Mendick playing short, essentially, instead of third. Now this one's popped up. An off-speed pitch got underneath the bat. McCann underneath it will make the catch up the third base line. One gone. Both pitchers right now mowing down the order in this game. Lopez has issued a free pass. Nothing from Norris yet. That was an 84-mile-an-hour changeup. And it got underneath that bat and got popped up. Here's Candelario, the third baseman for the Tigers. Batting lefty here. The pitch on the way. A four-seamer low in the zone fouled off. 0-1 the count. 6 for 29 lifetime against Reynaldo Lopez. And a high inside pitch misses 1-1. That fastball was at 98 miles an hour. Just missed a little high. Low inside changeup misses 2-1 now. Here in the top of the third, that means we are in the Family Waterproofing Solutions third inning already. Family Waterproofing Solutions is family-owned, female-owned, and veteran-owned, as that one is fouled off. Located on the southwest side, in the suburb of Evergreen Park, they cover all of northern Illinois with the exception of a couple of counties near Iowa and all of northwest Indiana. Foundation issues, sump pump issues, seepage issues, you name it. Something going on with your house, the foundation, the basement, give them a call. They'll do video estimates. They'll do them over the phone. They'll do them in person, whatever makes you comfortable. They work safely. They've got great rates, Sox in the basement deals, as the count is now full 3-2. And details are coming up midway through this inning with Family Waterproofing Solutions. That's a swing and a miss at a changeup low and outside. 2 gone on the first strikeout from Lopez. And nobody on base. Here's Victor Reyes. He's 0 for 1. And the first pitch right down the middle, a four-seam fastball. 0-1 the count. Grounded out in the first inning. Trying to bunt his way on to lead off the game. He did that against the White Sox in the last series. So he must feel like he can do that with ease. Line drive directly at Encarnacion. Into his chest and he catches it. Held on. Midway through the third, still no score. The White Sox bottom part of the order coming up. Foundation issues not properly handled can be costly. Family Waterproofing Solutions is owned by Ken, a veteran of the United States Marines, and his wife Maria, making them a veteran-owned business and a female-owned business that will diagnose and repair wet or leaky basements. And while they're located on the Sox side, Family Waterproofing services the entire Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. And now, after taking time off to ensure they can do things safely and securely for you, Family Waterproofing is back in business and doing jobs. Plus, part of the proceeds for every job that they do are donated to veteran and first responder organizations who support our frontline defenders. And currently, Sox in the Basement listeners have access to special pricing when they contact Family Waterproofing Solutions now, 708-330-4466, or visit them today at FamilyBasementWaterproofing.com. Adam Engel's hitting .264 with 8 home runs and 20 RBI. For a time, the starting right fielder every day. But the moment they gave him more time out there, he dropped from hitting about .320 to .264. So he's back in a platoon role. You'll see Leury Garcia out there, Nomar Mazara, and Adam Engel, depending on what Ricky Renteria wants to do with the lineup. He's 2 for 11 lifetime with 4 strikeouts against Norris. And he's 1-0 in the count. Pitch number 20 from the lefty for the Tigers is a strike outside corner. 1-1 the count. Norris now goes low and inside with a slider and misses 2-1. Out in New York, Baltimore and the Yankees tied up at 6 right now. And in the 6th inning in Florida, Tampa Bay trailing Oakland 5-3. We get Oakland this weekend here in Chicago. Ground ball over to Candelario. Scoops it at third and over to first, and Engel is out. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the third. And with 1 out in the bottom of the third, the pitcher for the Tigers has only thrown 22 pitches to get through 7 batters. That's not good. We have to work the count better. And the .235 hitting Nick Madrigal's up. Nick's on a little bit of a slide. He has dropped off probably about 15 points in the batting average over the past week. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, a slider misses 1-1. He had his first error of the season at second base yesterday. Sox were able to get through the inning, although a run did score as a result. 1-2 the count now, and an inside pitch taken. The young second baseman now pops this one up to second base. His counterpart catches it, and there's 2 gone. Luis Robert is hitting .217 on the season. He provides very good defense. Every time he starts to hit the ball a little bit, though, he drops off again. Although, yesterday, a big hit. He drove in 2 runs. Inside pitch called the ball, 1-0. Next pitch lifted softly into shallow center field. Coming on quickly, the play will be made. Sox down 1-2-3 yet again. 9 up, 9 down. The first time through the order for the White Sox. Meanwhile, there's no score here in Chicago. Harold Castro comes into play for the second time. The 2-hitter for the Tigers is 0 for 1 with the ground out in the first inning. Stands in the left-handed batter's box against Reynaldo Lopez, who's really hoping that we're not going to see another offensive output against Norris like we saw the first time we saw him last week. I mean, here's a guy the rest of the league has abused, but he feels very comfortable against the White Sox. Low on inside pitch, grounded over to second base, and there's 1 gone. Lopez, 41 pitches now, with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. He's being very efficient so far. Cabrera comes up 0 for 1 with a line out in the first inning. Miggy, a big, imposing right-handed hitter. Standing in the right-handed batter's box, ready as McCann sets up inside, and a low inside fastball misses. 1-0 the count. Lopez working quickly now goes outside and misses. Four-seamer, 2-0. McCann sets back inside again, but this one well outside, so that's not even where he intended to throw it. 3-0 the count with 1 out here on the top of the 4th. Nobody on, and Jonathan Schoop on deck. Now Lopez walks him on 4 pitches, a slider inside. So with 1 out, a 4-pitch walk for Lopez, the second batter to make it down the first, both of them via the walk. Jonathan Schoop comes into play now 0 for 1 with a ground out in the second inning. Little ground ball action here and a double play wouldn't be a bad thing at all. The first offering misses. No. Call the strike on the outside corner. Nice pitch. 0-1 the count on the check swing. Now he goes back in that same area, but now he does miss a little bit outside, 1-1. There's no speed really at first. You can pay attention to the batter. He fouls back a four-seamer that was below the knees. Did him a favor there, 1-2. Let's see what McCann calls for here. And another changeup dipping away. Low and outside. Misses, 2-2. So they're trying to get Schoop to reach for something low and away. Let's see if they mix it up on this pitch. He goes inside but can't get the call on a four-seamer. 3-2 the count is full with Maben on deck. Maben was the first base runner of the game when he walked his first time up. Full count here, runner on first. 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. Lopez, 50 pitches so far, the next offering. Misses inside, he walked this batter, so 2 straight walks after he gets the first out of the fourth inning. I don't know if it's a command thing or if they're trying to get somebody to reach and they're not. Remember, these teams have seen each other a lot lately. For the last 3 weeks, at some point during the calendar week, these teams have played each other. And now Cooper's going to come out, and we're going to have a meeting on the mound. Everybody on the infield's in there. Lopez talking. He has 51 total pitches, 26 for strikes and 25 for balls. And that's the real concern here. So many pitches outside the zone, they want to make sure that he and his catcher are on the same page, and everybody's on the same page about what they need to do next. You got 2 on here and 1 out. It's time to go to work against Cameron Maben. He's no slouch. He's hitting .270 on the season. 3 base runners so far for the Tigers, all via the walk. 2 on here in the top of the fourth. The 1-out pitch on the way. Strike above the knees, down the middle, four-seamer at 96 miles an hour. 0-1 the count. Sox fans give a cheer there because Lopez is finally in front in a count. Next offering now high, misses. 1-1 the count is even. Now a low pitch offered at, they're going to say he didn't swing. That could have gone either way. 2-1, Lopez is frustrated. Takes a walk behind the mound. Sox fans getting on their feet behind the plate. Both runners are going. This one is grounded down the third base line, foul. So a clear hit and run with both runners in motion. They get the foul ball. The 2-2 pitch now on the way. Popped up down the third base line, hooking foul. Count remains even at 2. Tigers trying to get something going here. And now Lopez misses low on a changeup. The count is full 3-2. If you walk the bases loaded here, 3 straight walks, that is ugly. Everything had looked really good to this point. The pitch. Lifted into shallow right field. Madrigal's going to run back, call off angle, make the play, turn around quickly, and hold the runners. 2 gone now in the top of the 4th. And Christian Stewart, the lefty, comes up 0 for 1 with a line out in the 2nd. He's hitting .309. He's got 2 on and 2 out. Down the right field line, this one hooks foul into the stands. 0-1 the count. Lopez trying to get out of a jam he created. Now an outside pitch, called a ball. He got squeezed on that call. That one looked really good. Should have been strike 2. That's the first pitch I would say the umpire missed in this entire inning. Next pitch, though, now ripped out in the left center field. Nobody's going to get to it. It's going to go back to the wall. 1 run is in already. The second run coming around third as Robert hits the relay man. Anderson's going to go home with it. It is not in time. And a 2-out, 2-run double off the left center field wall for Stewart. And Lopez can't get out of the inning and the mess that he created. Remember, he walked the first batter, Cabrera, after 1 out in the inning on 4 pitches. Then he put on another one right away. Got the pop out, and then the 2-run double. 2-0 Tigers here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Sox have won their last 2. And they're looking to make a little bit of headway here at home. They play much better at home than on the road. And even though Norris looks really good, he's perfect through the first 3 innings. This offense has performed all year long better at home than on the road. 1-1 now to Jake Rogers, who's 0 for 1, the catcher, stands in. Lopez already had 63 pitches. Number 64 lifted down the right field line. It will hook foul into the stands. 25 pitches for Lopez, 14 of them in the area of what would be called the ball, not in the zone. As now this one's lifted down the first base line and goes foul. 1-2 the count. So less than half of your pitches have been in the strike zone this inning. You deserve to give up a couple runs. Another curveball. This one's fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Still have that runner on second here with 2 outs. Ground ball down the first base line, foul. Again 1-2. Lopez checks the runner and induces another foul ball into the camera well down the first base side. Tigers batters have worked the pitcher. He's near 70 pitches. He's not through the 4th inning yet. In fact, after this foul ball, the next pitch will be pitch number 70, hoping to end the 4th. Very different on the other side of the coin right now. He misses on an outside 4-seamer, 2-2. Reynaldo has been pretty steady all season long. In fact, when the White Sox staff could do nothing, he was the only one doing something. Ground ball down the third base line, scooped by Mendick, long throw over to first, he'll make it. Nifty play by him. Plays third like he's playing it every day. It's nice to have a guy like that who can come in and play defense. Midway through the 4th, Detroit has 2 runs on 1 hit, and they lead 2-0 here in Chicago. So the Sox went 1 time through the order and nobody got on base. It only took Daniel Norris 28 pitches. So here in the bottom of the 4th inning, it's almost like time to restart. Timmy Anderson will lead off. Everybody's gotten a look at him, and the .327 hitting Anderson steps in. First pitch from the lefty on the way. Outside slider catches the corner, 0-1 the count. Anderson, 176 lifetime against Norris. Daniel Norris knows how to pitch the White Sox for some reason. Every once in a while, you run into a guy, and he's just great against your team. 0-2 after a foul ball. Now this one lifted into the right center field gap, looping in for a base hit. Maben will cut it off in center field and send it in. But that's a base hit for Anderson, who with that hit sits alone in second place in the American League with 98 hits on the season. Only Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop for the Angels, with 104 hits, leads him in the amount of hits by a player in the majors to date. Danny Mendick comes in, and an inside four-seamer misses 1-0 the count. Sox without Moncada, Sox without Grandal in this game. It was a long road trip. Guys got worn out. So they're trying their best to get everybody back going again. They don't get a day off for a week. And a high four-seamer misses 2-0. It's during these long stretches without a day off that teams have to rely on their bench guys to come in and spell players. The 2-0 pitch, strike at the letters, 2-1. And Mendick has done actually a pretty good job at that. All right. Danny Mendick's done a pretty good job. Seems to understand how to do it. Come in, play whatever position they put him in there. Finds a way, get himself on base. Gets a big hit every once in a while. The 2-1 pitch, Anderson's taking off for second. A low inside pitch. It's a ball. He is safe in at second base with a head-first slide. That is his 29th stolen base of the season. So with no outs, we got a runner in scoring position now as Mendick took a ball there and has a 3-1 count. Abreu stands on deck. The pitch from Norris, inside misses, and now Mendick goes down the first base. So it'll be first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. But Jose Abreu leads his team and is in the top 10 in the American League for the most double plays grounded into. It's one of the reasons why he's been batting in the 5 spot for about a week now. With Moncada not playing in today's game, Abreu bats in the 3 spot today. He's 0 for 1 with a flyout on the first. He's normally pretty good against lefties. So you understand the logic that if Moncada needed a day off, do it now against the lefty and allow Abreu to move up the order. Curveball low misses 1-0, and they're clearly trying to induce the double play ball. And I know the easy thing to say is, well, and do a double steal. Put the runners in motion. There's no guarantee that you're not going to have your guy thrown out at third base. This one's lifted down the right field line, falling quickly. It's a base hit. Everybody's going to be safe. 90 feet, they all move up. It was tough to judge if that ball was going to fall in. Right fielder is tearing in at high speed, but it drops in about 2 steps before he gets there for a base knock. So the Sox now have 2 hits in this inning. The base is loaded and nobody out for Jimenez. 0 for 1 with a line out in the second. Still sitting on those 14 home runs, and a 12-6 curveball hits the lower inside portion of the zone. 0-1 the count. Eloy needs to find, the moxie that seems to be missing right now. He's going through the motions, but the big hit is missing. Sent out to center field. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run's coming in. 2nd run coming in. Abreu on his way to third is safe. A single. 2 runs in. Eloy Jimenez, a little duck snort, out in the shallow center field. Mendick was moving immediately from second. Anderson comes in easily, but Abreu going first to third on that one. A dangerous maneuver. But the Sox now have first and third and no outs, and this game is tied 2-all. Encarnacion comes up 0 for 1. Takes a changeup on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. So Jimenez is not hitting it deep. You might have wanted the grand slam, but the 2-run single, that works. And right now, that's why you're disappointed in the lack of power. Now this ball's going to get away. Jimenez is going to advance 90 feet on a wild pitch from Norris. And now it's second and third with nobody out. And Edwin sitting with a 1-1 count. Ground ball over to second base. Contact play. Abreu comes home. The only play is over at first. They concede the run. And the Sox lead 3-2. The Sox loaded up the bases with no outs, and all 3 of those runners have scored now. And you could still get another one here with a runner standing on third in Jimenez, who advanced to second on a wild pitch and then moved from second to third on that ground out to second base. And with 1 out here in the fourth, if James McCann, who's 0 for 1, can hit one deep, Jimenez scores on a sac fly. Base hit also gets him in. Four-seamer swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. 4 for 8 with a home run against Norris lifetime after the at-bat earlier on in this game. Inside pitch, slider, called a strike. 0-2 now quickly to McCann. Now an outside four-seamer misses 1-2. The good news is Norris up to 46 pitches. Things are evening themselves out a little bit. Now an inside pitch brushes back McCann. Count even at 2. Dove out of the way there. And a ball that would have hit him right in the knees. Jimenez at third. He knocked in 2. He would like to come home as well. Outside slider just misses. The count is full at 3-2. Standing on deck is Adam Engel, who tends to hit better against lefties than righties. Norris takes his time and delivers. Inside pitch swung on and missed, and McCann goes down. It was in the zone. It was low, just above the knees. He just swung through it. I think he's looking for something off speed there, and Norris just burned it by him with the low inside fastball. Adam Engel comes to the plate now with 2 outs and the runner still at third. 0 for 1 with a ground out in the third inning. Takes a strike in the outside corner, 0-1 the count. You look at the White Sox bench today, Grandal's on the bench. He is said to be available, but giving a rest to him every once in a while is good for him and his knees. As an inside pitch is fouled off, 0-2. Mazzaro does not match up well at all against lefties. So that's why he's not out there, and Larry Garcia's been playing nonstop for the last week. So he needed a day just like the regular starters. Ground ball over to third base. Candelario moving towards short will scoop, and he'll get Engel by a hair on that play. Adam made it close with his speed, but it did not work out for him. One runner is stranded, but the White Sox get 3 on 3 hits and lead 3-2 after 4. Darkened, overcast skies tonight. Some rain has been moving through, and we are in the DP3 Tech 5th inning. DP3 Tech partner with Microsoft to bring you something revolutionary. Forget all these weird things you have to do now to keep your business running. Got to get some Google cells. You know, I got to get myself a couple other accounts where I got to hold on to the passwords. I got to get a Zoom. You know, I got to be able to do Facebook Messenger. How secure is all this stuff? Is it okay for me to have my business passing all these files around? How do people share all their stuff in an efficient way so the meeting isn't always breaking down? Now, DP3 Tech comes into play. Migrate your systems over. Get to use the stuff you're already using, but get to use their stuff to get people on the screen, one button. You know, share files, one button. Get somebody on the line on the screen, one button. No matter how many are working at home, working on the road, working in the workplace, it'll be seamless for you. Details coming up midway through the inning. Get a free estimate from a Southside company making big waves nationwide. 1-2 to Nico Goodrum after that strike from Lopez. His 74th pitch here in the top of the 5th inning. Goodrum's 0 for 1, and now he rips a slider down the third base line foul. Count remains 1-2. Oakland opening it up on Tampa Bay, up 8-3 now in their game. Late. It's a ground ball down the third base side, foul, and luckily it's foul because we have a shift on. There's nobody standing at third. Now this one hits into the shift, near the line, into foul territory, up against the railing, about 325 feet back. Adam Engel makes the catch for a long fly out on a foul ball that the shift took care of. And Candelario comes up for his second at bat, 0 for 1. Fouls this one. Nope, fair ball over the bag at third base, and they had the shift still on for Candelario. And this time, the shift does not pay off at all. Although I think even if they're playing him straight up, that was perfectly placed over the bag at third. It's going to be a double either way. Just looks bad because of the shift. There's nobody near there. So he's on second base with 1 out. A 1-out double. And Victor Reyes comes to the plate, 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. Hitting .319. Got an .853 OPS. He takes the strike on the outside corner, standing in the left-handed batter's box. Lopez checks the runner and delivers. Inside pitch, checked it up. They're going to say he didn't go around. Fans didn't like it. McCann didn't like it. 1-1 the count. Lopez, another look back at the runner. Now he goes to the plate. with a four-seamer that just misses high, 2-1. 2-1 count, one out here in the top of the fifth. Sox lead by 1, 3-2. Four-seamers fouled back. 2-2, the count is even. Next offering, a low curveball. He almost offered at it. Is Jimmy Cordero and Jace Fry have gotten up in the bullpen. The count is full. There's one out. There's a runner on second base. Remember, Lopez struggled and was lucky he only gave up 2 runs last inning. Inside pitch fouled off down the third base line. Count remains full. Now an inside curveball misses. That was a great pitch there. Reyes takes it. You've seen a lot of guys swing at that pitch this year, but Lopez doesn't get him. And there's 2 on now with 1 out here in the top of the fifth. And here's Harold Castro. The lefty has 2 groundouts in this game. If he could hit into another ground out, the .322 hitter may be able to give us a double play to get out of this inning. First pitch, high and tight, a strike on a four-seamer. He's grounded into 11 double plays so far this season, so he is susceptible. This one, though, looped into center field for a base hit. In front of Robert, he's going to pick it up. The game will be tied. A throw into third, and the runner is safe under the tag from Mendick on a bang-bang play at third base. It'll be a single with an RBI, and Reyes goes first to third, and it's 3-all here in Chicago. Lopez has really hurt himself with the walks. I think that's the obvious takeaway from this game. Gave up 2 walks back-to-back, and those guys scored on a hit. Reyes is on because of a walk. The walk has really hurt him in this game. You're going to give up hits. Nobody expects you to be perfect. These are professional hitters. But it's the lack of control, and that has really burned him today. 0-1 now to Cabrera. And a high and tight four-seamer goes for a ball, 1-1 the count. He has 486 career home runs. That pitch low and away, a changeup, misses 2-1. Runners at first and third with 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Check swing, called a strike. Not on the swing, but on the placement. Lopez has him 2-2. He comes off the mound for a second, wipes the sweat with his hat off of his brow. Now number 40 stands in there, takes a big breath. The 2-2 count with 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch. Fouls it back, a low outside slider protecting. Into the backstop, 2-2 the count remains. 92 pitches now for Lopez. And he's only 4 1/3 through this game. This one's cracked out in the right field. Going back is Engel. He'll make the play. Runners coming home. The throw comes home. The play is not in time. And the Tigers lead 4-3. So Detroit gets 2 in the fourth. The Sox get 3 in the fourth. The Tigers come right back and have 2 so far in the top of the fifth. Reynaldo Lopez has not had a very good start. He's given up 4 runs. He only has 2 outs here in the top of the fifth inning. And like I said, the walk kills him. 3 of the 4 runs that have crossed are guys that were put on base by a walk. And a high inside four-seamer misses 1-0 the count. Jonathan Schoop will face Reyes. I don't know if he continues any further if he can't get Schoop. By that point, you would imagine that one of those relievers out there will be ready to come in. This is likely Lopez's last batter. The only question is, does he leave before the inning is over? And I think he will. That's a ground ball out into right field, a base hit, first and second now. The line keeps moving for the Tigers. And they're going to go out now and get their pitcher. Jace Fry is going to come out of the bullpen. 31 games, 21 2/3 innings, 6 holds, a 3-2 record, and a 4.15 ERA. Righties hitting 179 against him, lefties hitting 229. He has 27 strikeouts and 9 walks on the season. After a slow start out of the bullpen, he has become very effective, and Cameron Maybin, who's 0 for 1, actually statistically does worse against lefties even though he's a righty. And Fry has held down righties better than he's held down lefties this year. So throw all that lefty-lefty, righty-righty stuff out with these two. Inside pitch misses, 1-0 the count here with 2 outs in the top of the fifth. The next offering, Fouled back, a four-seamer, 1-1. Now a cut fastball inside, fouled off, 1-2 the count. And now a swing and a miss, he got him. Nice pitch. Jace Fry puts it right down the middle as hard as he can throw it, and Maybin just cannot catch up. 4 runs on 4 hits for Detroit, 3 runs on 3 hits for the White Sox midway through the 5th here at the rate. New challenges bring new technology. DP3 Tech has partnered with Microsoft to make things easier on you and your business. Imagine being able to get everybody together in a nice, easy, user experience friendly meeting room and being able to share whatever you want in the room with just one click. You can migrate from old legacy on-premises equipment right now to flexible, secure, work-from-home friendly cloud services. Bring your group together faster, better, easier. Find out what DP3 Tech can do for you. Contact their cloud migrations team today, 312-896-2450, or email info@dp3tech.com. Nick Madrigal stands in. He's 0 for 1 in the game. First pitch, lifted out in the right field. Can of corn. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Daniel Norris only 53 pitches here. And he's got 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Luis Robert has to work the count a little bit better than the guy in front of him in Madrigal. He's 0 for 1. He had a big 2-out, 2-run single last night. He was 1 for 4 in that game. Ended up with the 2 RBIs and the single. An 0-1 pitch here. Swung on and rifled out in the right center field. That's going to be a base hit. It will not get by as it's cut off heading to the gap. He'll take the single. Really hard-nosed play made out there by the right fielder. He was hoping for extra bases. Don't be surprised if he tries to take one right now. Tim Anderson's coming to the plate. He's got good speed in front of him and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Sox trailing by 1. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And as I said before, the game is never over with these White Sox here in Chicago. A much better offense, a much better record, a much better team in Chi-Town. First pitch on the way, they pitch out immediately. Robert's not going anywhere. He's got 36 stolen bases, a 90% clip. The last 2 times he was caught was on a pitch out, so he's going to be patient because that has gotten him lately. 1-0 pitch, grounded to short. He's not going to have a chance to steal anything. 6-4-3. Tigers play that perfectly. Good speed on board and a good hitter coming up. And they get the double play on the first pitch that wasn't a pitch out. Top of the 6th inning. And Jimmy Cordero will come in with the White Sox trailing in this game. 19 games, 19 1/3 innings. Forget his stats beforehand. Since he got back to the majors, he's been very good. And a sinker is swung on and missed right away, 0-1 to Stewart, the lefty. He's 1 for 2 in this game, Sox trailing 4-3. Fastball in the inside corner, 0-2. Cordero now inside pitch, swung on and missed, a slider that ran in on the hands. He got him on 3 pitches. Nice pitching there from Jimmy. You know, the Sox have gotten to a point where it's like, okay, well, we can't find enough relief pitchers that we can rely on. Let's see if Jimmy Cordero's worked things out in the minors that it looked like he had, but you never know until he gets back up here. So far, so good for now. Jake Rogers fouls this one down the third base line. The catcher is 0-1. He's 0 for 2 in this game with a pop out and the ground out, hitting 154. He's really in the game to prevent base stealers. He held Robert there at least long enough for the double play, but gave up a stolen base to Anderson earlier in the game. Anderson came around and scored eventually as that 4-seamer's fouled off 0-2. Detroit got 2 runs in the top of the 4th. Sox got 2 in the bottom of the 4th. In the top of the 5th, they got 2 more runs. Lopez is chased. Sox went down very quickly. After the Robert base hit, he was doubled off, so the minimum were faced. And now we're here in the top of the 6th, trailing 4-3. Cordero's got him 1-2 in the count, swing and a miss on a sinker low and in. And there's 2 gone. So Jimmy's thrown 7 pitches and struck out the first 2 guys he's faced. This is something the White Sox have missed in these innings here. Need a guy in the 6th or 7th inning that can continue to build that bridge when the starter falls short. He's got 2 gone here, and Niko Goodrum's up 0 for 2 with a fly out and a pop out. Inside pitch swung on him, missed, 0-1 the count. Next offering, down the line over the head of Encarnacion. A line drive right over his head. He jumped and just could not extend enough to get that one. So a base hit here with 2 outs. It's a single. They had a shift on, so Engel was hugging the line. So Goodrum wasn't going anywhere. He's pretty good at stolen bases as Candelario comes in. He's going there. Throw down to second base. He is just underneath the tag. So he swipes one against McCann. So Goodrum down to second. Each team running a little bit in this game. Candelario hit a double down the line last inning. And eventually came home to score. 1 of 2 runs to score. He tied the game at 3. Victor Reyes, 1 of 3 base runners that scored, who got on originally because of a walk, also scored. Lopez, 3 of his 4 runs were guys that he put on base himself. 2-0 count now with the runner on second. Cordero throws a strike on the inside corner, a changeup, 2-1. This is the 9-hitter. Then he'll be back to the top of the order again for the Tigers. A strike on the upper outside corner, 99 miles an hour. The count goes from being 2-0 to 2-2. Now Cordero checks the runner again at second and delivers. Fouls off a sinker low and in. Count remains even at 2. And now a ground ball over to Madrigal, scooped over to first. And the Sox are out of the inning. Nice inning pitched, even with the base hit. And the stolen base, Cordero does a good job. Midway through the 6th, we still trail by 1, 4-3. Danny Mendick comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 in the game. He's got a walk. Came around and scored. An inside 4-seamer misses, 1-0 the count. Anthony Castro and Rony Garcia warming up in Detroit's bullpen right now. Their starter is still on the mound, Norris. He has a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Michael Kopech warming up for the White Sox in their bullpen. Swing and a miss at a 4-seamer high, 1-1 the count. Next pitch low and away, a slider, 2-1. As Mendick hopes to get on base and start something going here. Yesterday, the White Sox scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning and scored nothing else. Today, they scored 3 runs in the 4th, and that's the only inning of output. This one is looped over to Miguel Cabrera. He'll make a nice play running backwards onto the grass. It stayed up there. A little bit harder hit. It's a base hit instead. An unassisted 3 putout, and Abreu comes to the plate 1 for 2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. An outside 4-seamer hits the zone, 0-1. 10 for 25 with a home run against Norris lifetime. Outside 4-seamer misses, 1-1 the count. Now a swing and a miss at a changeup. He was way out in front of it. 1-2. Norris has had 2 innings, the first and the second with only 9 pitches. In the 5th inning, he only needed 5. The White Sox have not done a good job of working the count. Now a swing and a miss. Drop third strike. It rolls way back to the backstop, and Abreu is not fast enough to beat it to first base. Third strikeout for Norris. There's a bad pitch to swing at. There's 2 gone already here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and this is why the White Sox lost to Daniel Norris last week. They never made him uncomfortable. In fact, the only time we've made him uncomfortable in this game is when he had to pitch a bunch of pitches. As this one's rifled out in the deep right center field. Tailing back, it is off the top of the wall. Jimenez is a double already. Will he try for 3? No, he'll hold up. Eloy with his 13th double just missed a home run. He's hit a few of them off the top of walls lately. He's got to be getting a little frustrated. He'd like to get one out. So here comes Edwin. We made him uncomfortable 1 time, Norris, and we scored 3 runs. Otherwise, we're going down quickly. I mean, the guy needed 18 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. He needed 5 last inning. He's on 68 pitches here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. You have not gotten after this guy and made him work. 1-0 now to Encarnacion. Pops it up, shortstop side. Underneath it is Goodrum. And he's gone. Norris is out of this inning. Jimenez's double means nothing. 5 hits for each team, but Detroit has 4 runs compared to our 3 after 6. Victor Reyes is 0 for 2. He walked and scored. And he's going to end up with a new pitcher. Michael Kopech comes into the game. 13 appearances, 30 2/3 innings. 2-0 record, 4.11 ERA. Righty's hitting .265 against him. Lefty's hitting .172. 39 strikeouts to 14 walks. He has the lefty Reyes up there. And he'll start off the 7th inning. And Reyes tries to bunt. And he comes up and in and knocks him on his butt with the bat hitting the ball, so it's not hit by a pitch. Reyes gets up, dusts himself off, and now dives out on an inside 4-seamer on the next pitch. So maybe Kopech's been paying attention to the fact Reyes tries to bunt his way on sometimes against the new pitcher. Now he swings and misses at a changeup, 1-2 quickly. So Kopech goes right after him. And when he squared for the bunt, he almost lost his head. 4-seamer misses outside, 2-2. The count is even now. Kopech working quickly. The next offering fouled off a 4-seamer on the inside corner. Still 2-2. Now an inside pitch slider misses. Count is full with Castro on deck. Kopech trying to work inside to Reyes, but has missed a few times here. Now he misses low on a changeup, and he walked the leadoff man. So Michael Kopech probably not happy about that. He'll get back up on the mound. Good speed on board here. They're underway in Seattle. The Rangers and the Mariners, no score. Harold Castro comes to the plate, 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. He's 1 for 4 in this series. The lefty stands in with good speed on first and no outs here in the top of the 7th. Sox trailing by a run to Detroit. Fastball on the outside corner, a 2-seamer. 0-1 the count. Michael has been putting in better and better appearances over the last couple of weeks. And it's been a big deal because there's been some unreliability in the bullpen. Inside 4-seamer misses 1-1. Runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw down a second. He is safe under the tag. Anderson missed on the swipe. That ball beat him. Let's see what happened on the replay. The ball gets there, and Anderson's hand pops up, and he over-swipes him and then comes down on top of him. If he cleanly swipes across the dirt, he gets him. The count is now 2-2 after a 99-mile-an-hour 4-seamer misses low. Reyes is on second with no outs here in the top of the 7th. So runner in scoring position for the Tigers. And a 4-seamer fouled off. Count remains even at 2. Swing and a miss. A high fastball. He went underneath it. 1 gone here in the top of the 7th inning. Struck him out. Wicked pitch from Kopech. So here's Cabrera. He's 0 for 1. He has a sac fly, a walk. The run batted in on the sac fly. He's 1 for 5 with that RBI in this series. And a ball misses just outside. 1-0 the count with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Sox bullpen is quiet right now. This is Michael Kopech's inning. Ground ball on the third base line, foul. 1-1. Now a strike down the middle on a slider, 1-2 the count. Ground ball, first base side. Encarnacion will scoop. Flip to Kopech. There's 2 gone. The runner advances from second to third. Here's Jonathan Schoop. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. 242 average. 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Runner on third base. Kopech throws to the right-handed hitter. A fastball down the middle at 99. 0-1 the count. Put on the first man with a walk. That runner stole second and advanced to third on the second out of the inning. Now a low inside four-seamer misses, 1-1. He's throwing a great abundance of fastballs right now. Although he has thrown the slider and the change. There's the changeup on the outside corner, misses 2-1. And now he gets in the swing and miss at an inside four-seamer right on the low inside corner of the zone. Count is even at 2. 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Michael Kopech trying to keep this a one-run game to give the White Sox a chance to climb back here late. The pitch on the way. Lifted into right field. Engel underneath it. He'll put that one away. A nice inning from Michael Kopech. So the bullpen coming out there right now. Fry, Cordero, and Kopech have held down the Tigers after Lopez struggled. It's 4-3, and we're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Anthony Castro will come out. He only has 2 innings under his belt so far this season. He has not given up a run. He's newly up. White Sox didn't see him last time. James McCann is going to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. He's 0 for 2 in this game. There's now a righty out there, which may change down the line what Renteria wants to do if anybody's coming off the bench at any point to hit in this lineup. Quickly, Castro is 2-0. 2 very bad pitches outside, way off the plate. McCann would be best served to let this youngster get himself in the trouble here. Very limited action in the majors. 2 innings. An outside pitch misses, 3-0. He's had 2 appearances. Actually, 3 appearances, 2 innings. So he only comes in. He hasn't even really finished an inning. I'm looking at this here. 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. 3-0 pitch on the way. Gets a strike at the inside corner. It was close. McCann was taken the whole way. He's 0 for 2 in this game. We're only down by a run. Meanwhile, in Houston, Minnesota leaving 4-0 over the Astros. Swing and a miss and an inside 2-seamer. Count is now full, 3-2. With Engel on deck. This one's ripped down the third baseline, foul. Count remains full. Castro to the wind, the payoff pitch. Misses low, and he walked him. So down to first base goes James McCann. And the White Sox are bringing in a pinch hitter. Nomar Mazara is going to come out. They're going to go lefty-righty because they know this kid can't come out. The rules say he has to pitch to 3 guys in a row. So they want to put the lefty against the righty. Engel's been having trouble against right-handed pitching lately. Mazara's been coming alive lately, even though the average overall is at 206. McCann's on first. First pitch inside, taken for a ball, 1-0. There's a slider. So Mazara will move out to right field, presumably, in Engel's position. There's no outs here in the bottom of the 7th as the Sox try to get a run and tie this game up. Outside, 4-seamer misses, 2-0. He went 3-0 to McCann and got 2 of them on the inside corner to the right-handed batter before walking him. He's 2-0 now to Nomar. A low pitch misses, 3-0. A lot of sweat coming off this youngster. Uses the glove to wipe his brow, now the hat to wipe his brow. Got a lot of sweat on that brow. 3-0 count, you don't want to let him off the hook here. McCann with a good lead, the pitch. Swung on, and a short chopper down the first base line. Going to be a close play at first. Mazara's out on the 1-3 put out. The youngster grabbed the ball after he had run by it and threw it down the first. McCann advances the second. There's 1 gone. So it's similar to a bunt, moving the runner over, although that's not what was intended. And an outside 4-seamer misses, 1-0 now to Nick Madrigal. Madrigal's 0 for 2. Next pitch down the middle, taken for a strike, 1-1. Robert stands on deck here. The youngsters have to start coming through. We've seen Madrigal do it a few times. Robert did it yesterday. Low changeup misses, 2-1. McCann, the catcher, leading off of second base. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Now a strike in the outside corner, a slider, 2-2, the count is even. And Mads, with that very small strike zone, has had 2 of them poured in on him. Swings at this one, a four-seamer, fouls it off down the first base line. Count remains even at 2. The pitch. Swung on and lifted. Oh, it's caught out of the air by Miguel Cabrera, who jumps up and grabs that one. He throws down to second and almost gets McCann. That looked like that was over his head. Miggy Cabrera's playing today like he's 23 years old again. That's the second time we've seen him make full extension to get a ball going over his head down the first base line. It's going to go as a line out. There's 2 gone. Madrigal can't believe it. McCann lucky to get back to second. And Robert comes up 1 for 2 with a single in the 5th inning. And we're looking for another one here. 2 gone. He had the leadoff walk. This kid was in trouble. Now he's got a four-seamer down the middle over for a strike. Outside, changeup, catches the corner, 0-2 quickly to Robert. On deck is Tim Anderson in the top of the White Sox order, but can we get to him? This one's fouled back. 0-2, the count remains. The next offering. Check swing, they're going to say he went, and it was in the strike zone anyway. Robert goes down. So the youngster Castro can't find the zone, and the White Sox let him off the hook. After 7, we still trail 4-3. Nomar Mazara will take over in right field. Michael Kopech will remain out on the mound and continue to pitch for the White Sox in a 4-3 deficit. Cameron Maben's 0 for 2. Standing in the right-handed batter's box here in the top of the 8th. First pitch, a slider, high and in. Called the ball, 1-0. 14,916. That's it tonight on a Tuesday night in Chicago. Now an outside four-seamer called a strike, 1-1. Found it interesting today, or actually yesterday, as this is a ground ball down the first baseline foul, that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is actually opening up baseball stadiums. He says if the White Sox and Cubs want to have fans, in Phase 4, they can have 20% capacity. It would be interesting to see if you could eventually see some fans at ball games. I mean, it makes sense. Spread them out. You know, it'll look like a Wednesday day game in April. Those are still fun games. And you can socially distance on the concourse during those very low attended games. Trust me, you sat in that upper deck. Sometimes you never see anybody for 3 innings. So it'd be curious. 3-2 pitch on the way. This one's fouled back. Count still full here to Maben, the leadoff hitter in the top of the 8th inning, was 0 for 2. The next offering from Kopech. That's a base hit in the right. Got it in between Madrigal and Encarnacion. So a leadoff single for Maben. So there's a runner on now. No outs in the top of the 8th inning. Kopech throws an inside four-seamer that misses, 1-0. Stewart's 1 for 3. He has a 2-run double. He's the reason that it is 4-3 Detroit instead of 3-2 White Sox at this point. Runner goes. That's a strike. The throw down. He's safe. Maben, his 10th stolen base on the year, and the second guy to get the second against McCann today, so they're running on him. Now a 1-1 pitch taken for a strike, 1-2. James McCann getting abused like the White Sox have abused Detroit early on this season. They have stolen a lot of bases against the Tigers. Ron Gardenhire is saying, we're going to do that back to you. 1-2 the count. Kopech looks back at Maben, who's got good speed. Back over to the plate. Now this one's fouled off a slider above the knees and in the zone. Count remains 1-2. The final in Cincinnati. They're 7-5 winners over the Northsiders in the Great American Ballpark, or whatever they call it these days. It's a high slider, foul back. Count remains 1-2. Atlanta is going to have to do some work if they're going to come back at home against the Phillies, trailing 6-2 in the 8th. Inside pitch, sent down the third base line. Get foul. It does. Just barely. Otherwise, that run comes home. 1-2 the count. No outs here in the top of the 8th inning. To the lefty, Stewart. Inside pitch misses on a changeup, 2-2. Aaron Bummer is tossing out in the bullpen. The Sox ideally would like to see Kopech get through this inning. Save Bummer for the 9th. Steve Cishek not available today. As a high four-seamer misses, 3-2 the count. He has pitched in 5 straight games. Full count, the pitch on the way. Fouls off a four-seamer. Count remains full. Then after that, you're looking at guys like Evan Marshall, Alex Colomé, Carson Fulmer. Four-seamer fouled off. Still a full count. Kopech, 40 pitches. He's only into his second inning. He hasn't gotten that first out yet, now he walks him. So Michael Kopech is struggling now. Looked pretty good in the 7th. In the 8th inning here, having trouble. He was said to be fresh coming into the game. But 41 pitches, he's only collected 3 outs. He's got 2 on here and no out in the top of the 8th inning. Jake Rogers is coming to the plate. They're going to go out and have a talk with him real quick. 16 balls and 25 strikes over the 41 pitches that he's thrown. I would imagine that Bummer is ready. Again, it feels like you're bringing him in early here. You got a righty up there, and Peters hitting 152 on the season. So Michael Kopech should be able to get to him. If he keeps it low, maybe he gets a double play. Swing and a miss on a slider. 0-1 the count. Kopech with the flowing locks. Standing tall. 0-1 the count here. No outs in the top of the 8th. Swing and a miss on that slider. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Misses outside on a four-seamer. 1-2 the count. Now he gets him to swing and miss at an outside pitch. Peters just can't keep up with him. There are just certain guys that are going to be outmatched anytime they face a guy like Michael Kopech. And that's why you try to be patient even after he puts 2 guys on. A base hit and a walk, but then he gets this guy, and now he's going to get Nico Goodrum. Man hitting 223. He's 1 for 3 with a single in the 6th inning. That was against Lopez. This is Kopech. An inside slider goes for a strike, 0-1. Renteria electing to stick with his pitcher here. Trailing by 1 with runners on second and first. A low two-seamer misses, 1-1 the count. The crowd wanted that one. Goodrum only hitting 172 with runners in scoring position. Kopech checks Maben at second and delivers. High and tight, misses on a changeup, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Fouls off a slider, count even at 2. Now he goes inside and misses on a slider in. 3-2 the count is full with Candelario standing on deck. Full count again here for Kopech. If he's going to get through this inning, I would have to say he has to take out Nico. You don't want the bases loaded and only 1 out here. Swing and a miss, he got him on a four-seamer. In the zone above the knees, right down the middle. He just beat him to the spot. So he gets 2 in a row on strikeouts after putting 2 on. Kopech finding it again. And he'll get the number 9 hitter, Candelario. 2 gone here in the top of the 8th. Candelario's 1 for 3. Checks the lead runner, the pitch. Fouls back a two-seamer, 0-1 the count. Top of the order coming up for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 8th. Do or die time, really. You got your best hitters coming up. You scored 5 in an inning yesterday and 3 in an inning today. Every other inning has been a goose egg. Change up inside, taken for a strike, 0-2. But first, Kopech has to finish off this inning. Checks the runner again, looks in, and the pitch. Misses outside on a changeup at 87 miles an hour. 1-2 the count. Looks in, shakes off the first sign. Now he gets what he wants. And a foul back 100-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball right down the middle. He just wanted to beat him, just like he beat the other 2 guys, to the spot right down the middle. Candelario's ready. Now the next pitch is high. Count is even at 2. We'll see what he does here. I would go in low on him. Try to go inside. Here's the pitch. Goes inside, dropped by McCann. The runner goes to third, close play, and Maben is safe, first and third. Next pitch is fouled back, a changeup, so still 3-2. But the runner's only 90 feet away now. It's first and third. A payoff pitch on the way here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Swung on and fouled back, a slider. Another long at bat here against Kopech. Count still full. And the pitch on the way. Lifted into center field. Tailing back near the wall. Robert to the wall, leaps, and he caught it over the wall. Luis Robert goes over the wall 10 feet to the right of where it says the catch. He makes one of his own, full extension. His head was over the yellow line. Brings it back in and saves a 3-run home run. Michael Kopech would have given up a 3-run home run there. Instead, the White Sox escape, and now Tim Anderson will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Joe Jimenez is the pitcher. The righty has an 8.66 ERA. He'll start off the bottom of the 9th with a 4-seamer on the outside corner. Called a strike, 0-1 the count. Now you need the White Sox to come back. Let's be honest here. Luis Robert went over the wall. It's the best defensive play of the year. Ground ball back up the middle, off the pitcher's leg, but he corrals it. He'll get Anderson for the first out here. Sox need to find some offense real quick. And a pinch hitter for the White Sox here. Coming into the game is going to be Yasmani Grandal. Grandal will hit for Danny Mendick. Again, Renteria trying to find a way to get the right matchup. The .291 hitting Grandal skies this one immediately deep out into center field near the track. It will be caught. Wish he would have taken a pitch there. 1 pitch, 1 out. Feels like a waste. And Abreu comes to the plate. You know, you're coming off the bench. Take a pitch. But he tries to lift one out of here, and he falls just short. 20 home runs on the season. There's a 4-seamer up and in, called a strike, 0-1 the count. Next offering, fouled off down the third base line, 0-2 to Abreu. Now Abreu takes a 4-seamer high, 1-2 the count. 2 outs quickly here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now a 4-seamer lifted down the third base line, hooking foul. 1-2 count. The pitch, deep, back towards left field. Tailing to the wall. Gone! It's a tie ball game. Jose Abreu hits his 13th home run on a line drive, 383 feet over the left field wall. Out of here at 107.1 miles per hour. This ball game is tied. Man, it felt like the White Sox were just laying down here at the end. That's a jolt for this crowd. The offense just comes out on one swing. Out into the stands. We have a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And here's Jimenez. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and 2 RBI. First pitch inside, fouled back. 0-1 the count. 0-1 the count. 2 gone. Bottom of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss. And a changeup low, and Jimenez is quickly 0-2 in the count. The White Sox have just tied up the game on a Jose Abreu line drive home run over the left field wall. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt outside, a slider, 1-2. Aaron Bummer warms in the bullpen. He will likely pitch the 9th and give the White Sox every opportunity to win this in regulation. Swing and a miss on a high inside fastball. Jimenez goes down. But we're going to the 9th inning, all tied up here, as Jose Abreu lifts one out. After 8, it's 4-4 here on the south side. Yohan Moncada was going to get a day off, but he's going to come out and play third base here after Mendick was taken out of the game for Grandal to pinch hit. So he'll play third, and Aaron Bummer comes in, and the first pitch from Bummer, the lefty grounded over to Encarnacion at first, flipped the Bummer, 1 gone here in the top of the 9th inning. Harold Castro comes to the plate, the lefty, 1 for 4 with a single and an RBI. And Bummer, pitch number 2 is a strike down the middle. So Moncada, who was getting a day off, Renteria decides he wants to hold on to Leury Garcia now off the bench. And I get the reasoning. Garcia would likely come in and run if one of the slower guys at the top of the order got on base. Encarnacion will lead off, and McCann right after him. Now McCann would have to keep running because you're out of catchers. Grandal's already out of the game. 2-1 pitch on the way. Outside cut fastball misses 3-1 with Cabrera on deck. But let's say Edwin gets a base hit, you put speed on, and you hope to get that run across in the bottom of the ninth. Swing and a miss on a high cut fastball. The count is full now to Harold Castro. 1 for 4, does not like to go up against lefties. Next pitch swung on and missed. He got him on a sinker, up and in. Bummer bringing it. 2 gone here in the top of the ninth quickly. And Miguel Cabrera comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a sac fly, a walk, the RBI from the sac fly, 247 average. He does like to hit left-handed pitching. Bummer acting as the closer tonight, essentially, in a tie ball game. 0-1 the count on a strike down the middle. Next pitch inside slider misses 1-1. So it'll be Encarnacion, McCann, and Mazara to start off the ninth inning. 1-1 pitch, slider away, 2-1. Then Madrigal and Robert. He offers it a sinker. He falls across the plate, and they're going to say he still is able to check it up. Questionable call there. 3-1 the count. Now he lifts this one in the left field. Tailing back is Jimenez. He does not even have to go to the track. He looks up. He'll make the catch. And the inning is over. Aaron Bummer comes in, goes 1-2-3 in the top of the ninth. We're all knotted up at 4 apiece. And the Sox come up in the bottom of the ninth inning. Edwin Encarnacion is 0 for 3 with a pop-out in the 6th. And Joe Jimenez is going to remain in the game here in the bottom of the ninth inning. The first pitch down the middle, a changeup swung on and missed. He was looking fastball. He was way out in front of it. 0-1 count here to Edwin. Tie ball game, bottom of the ninth inning. Crowd wants the walk-off. A 4-seamer high. 1-1 the count. Colomé and Marshall are warming. There's no guarantee either one of them would start the next inning, but they will be available with Bummer, currently the pitcher of record. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed, an inside slider, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Low and inside, misses, 2-2 the count. Now a high 4-seamer laid off. The count is full. McCann's on deck with his .337 batting average. Full count, swung on and missed, an inside changeup, a pump of the fist from Jimenez. He went on something that was right on the borderline on the inside portion of the plate. He's trying to protect there. You can't fault him for going for it. He went inside with a perfectly placed pitch, and he gets Edwin Encarnacion. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the ninth. McCann's 0 for 2 with a walk in the 7th inning. And a high 4-seamer misses 1-0. Hitting .337. On base .414, slugging .561 in limited action as the backup catcher for this team. Outside pitch misses, 2-0. The sun is set. Still cloudy out there. A little bit of movement on the flags. Not a lot of wind. 2-0 the count. The pitch on the way. Swung on and lifted into right field. That's going to be a base hit. It gets down in front of the right fielder. We got a runner on first. James McCann is the winning run on first base. And before you get any crazy ideas, there's nobody that can catch. So you can put in the pinch runner, but who's catching? Who gets behind the plate if you have somebody come in and run for McCann right now? You let Leury Garcia catch? Is that even an option? So at this point, McCann is going to run. He's not a terribly slow runner. He's faster than Grandal. Mazara is quickly 2-0 at the plate. The lefty has the power to end this. A low pitch misses, 3-0, and now you have to ask yourself what's going to happen here. He was 3-0 earlier in this game, and he had the green light, and he popped it out. What will happen here? 3-0 pitch. He takes it for ball 4. That's one way to get McCann over to second. So with 1 out, there's 2 on now. And little Nicky Madrigal's going to come up, and they're bringing in a new pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman. 31 games pitched, 72 innings, 4.88 ERA, 3-4 record. Righties hitting 281 against him, lefties hitting 269. Madrigal's 0 for 3 with a line out in the 7th. He's 0 for 6 in the series. He almost had a base hit down the line on a line drive stolen earlier in the game by Miguel Cabrera. The fans are on their feet. There's runners on first and second with one out here in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch fouled back, a four-seamer. Luis Robert stands on deck. He had the game-winning RBIs in yesterday's game, only because he put up the 4th and 5th run on a 2-out single, and the Sox held on to win 5-3. 0-1 the count, the pitch on the way. Inside pitch misses, 1-1. Swung on over to second base. That's a double play ball. Flipped over to second, back over to first. He got pulled off the bag. We're going to say that Cabrera kept his foot on there. Madrigal is looking at the umpire. I'm looking at the replay right now. The foot stayed on. Nick Madrigal hits into a double play here to end the 9th inning, and we're going to extras on the south side. Alex Colome is going to come into the game. Like I said, Steve Cishek not available. Colome has blown 5 saves and has had a terrible run over the last couple of weeks. But he will start the top of the 10th inning against Jonathan Schoop. First pitch, lifted out in the right center field. Tailing back, it is off the wall. Robert's going to pick it up. That's going to be a double. Everything says he's a good pitcher. Unfortunately, he has not been very good as of late. Bummer has shown a lot of weakness going into the 2nd inning. Cishek is run down. You had Fulmer, Marshall, and Colome. Renteria hoping that the veteran could put it together here. A four-seamer to Maybin now called a strike. 0-1 the count. Maybin's 1 for 3 in this game. There's already a runner on second because of the leadoff double on the first pitch. Colome has had such trouble with the first batter he faces coming out of the bullpen. Doesn't matter how warm he is, he generally is giving up something deep. Home runs, doubles, triples. We're not talking singles and walks. Marshall continues to warm in the bullpen. He was another option. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Misses outside on a four-seamer, 2-1 the count. The Sox will have Robert, Anderson, and Yoan Moncada coming up in the 10th inning. Ground ball down the first base line. Dove did Encarnacion, knocked it down, and tagged the base with his glove. The runner advanced to third, though, and with one out, there is a runner at third base. And up comes Christian Stewart. And Ricky Renteria is going to walk him. Stewart has been killing the White Sox as of late. Meanwhile, you have Jake Rogers, the catcher, that's hitting in the 150s, coming up next. So they're going to put the runner on. Sets up the possibility of the double play. Stewart's hitting .311 right now. He's going to be pulled from the game for a pinch runner. So they're going to bring in the very speedy Travis Demeritte. You have to expect that. But what you wanted to do was pitch to Rogers here. He's hitting 149 now with 3 RBIs, and he's 0 for 4 in the game. Instead of a lefty at the plate against the righty Colome, you get righty-on-righty action. You get the 7-hitter before you get to the 8-hitter Goodrum, who could be a problem. Good speed on board. The first pitch, ground ball, second base. Grabbed by Madrigal, flipped to Anderson. Spin move over, and he got him. Nick Madrigal flips it to TA, who touches the bag, does a 360 spin to get out of the way of the quick runner coming in a second, and gets Peters at first on the double play. It all pays off for Renteria on that move, and now you need to get that run. Luis Robert is going to lead it off. He's hitting .219. He's only got a .290 OBP. The goal is to get on. We'll see what he does here against Zimmerman, who remains in the game. First pitch high, a ball. 1-0 the count. Anderson's after him. Then Moncada. Funkhauser and Farmer warm up in the bullpen, 2 righties. Bottom of the 10th inning, 4-4 game. That's a high four-seamer. Called the strike. 1-1 the count. If you're trying to figure out what's going on in the bullpen, I'll tell you this. Probably Evan Marshall for maybe 2 innings and Fulmer the rest of the way. That's all the White Sox really have left today. First pitch lifted out in the left field. This one's tailing back near the track. It will stay in the ballpark. Robert gives it a ride, but does not have enough to get it out. And he's the first out of the bottom of the 10th inning. Tim Anderson will come to the plate, 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored, hitting .327. And they really need him to get his way on base. He has been struggling a little bit lately, even though the average still holding above .325, currently at the .327 mark. And a pitch on the outside corner, a four-seamer misses, 1-0 the count. The next offering on the way misses away. Slider, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. And now Anderson rips this one down the third base line. Fair ball. That ball's going to get back to the wall and get to the corner. Anderson's going to round and hit for second. A good throw coming in. He is safe at second base. A double for TA. And he is 180 feet away from winning this ball game. So Yoan Moncada, who did not start, was supposed to have a day off, has had to play third base for the last 2 innings, comes up hitting .335 with 14 home runs on an 11-game hitting streak, 45 RBIs, and a .971 OPS. Batting lefty, he dives out of the way of that one. 1-0 the count. And in the hole is Abreu, who tied this up in the 8th inning with a 2-out solo home run. So the stage is set. Can the White Sox deliver? Inside pitch now to Moncada, 2-0. He's hitting .347 with runners in scoring position. You have good speed on second. I'm sure it has crossed the White Sox mind, do we try to run here? This ball lifted out in the left field, falling fast. A nice play made on the run coming in. If that ball gets down, Anderson might come around and score. Instead, Reyes makes the play on the run. Anderson sees him coming in, has to stutter step, and gets back to second base in time. And Abreu comes up now 2 for 4 with the home run. And a base hit wins this ball game. 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. First pitch on the way, a four-seamer fouled off down the first base line. It's hitting .301 with runners in scoring position. Anderson with the lead, the pitch. Swung on a slider, tipped back to the backstop. Already 0-2 is Abreu. Outside pitch, he checks it up. 1-2 the count on a close pitch. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th and a runner on second. Swing and a miss, and Abreu goes down. Ouch. You get the Anderson double. Moncada comes up and rips one, and a nice play is made by Reyes, and then Abreu goes down swinging. And we're through 10, still tied up at 4. Nico Goodrum is going to come to the plate, and Alex Colomé remains in the game, at least for now. He only needed 6 pitches last inning. Throws a strike, now an inside cut fastball fouled off, 0-2. So Renteria saying stay out there. Maybe you need to warm up a little bit. You look good at the back end. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on 3 pitches. Cut fastball up and in, and a pumped fist. Colomé gives him. He felt it on that one. And maybe this is the confidence boost that the former White Sox closer needs. If he's ever going to get back to that role again. Fell on hard times over the last month. Here's Candelario, 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 7 in the series. First pitch outside corner, cut fastball misses, 1-0 the count. For the Sox next inning, it's Jimenez, Encarnacion, and McCann. White Sox trying to get over the hump here, get that 5th run and win this game. Cut fastball called a strike, 1-1 the count. We're in the top of the 11th inning. In a game that we trailed until the 8th, when Jose Abreu tied it up on a home run. 2-1 count now. Swing and a miss on a changeup, 2-2. You felt like after the Anderson double that was it. He was going to get driven in with Moncada and Abreu coming up. And they were unable to get anything else off of Jordan Zimmerman. 2-2 count. It's all evened up against the third baseman for the Tigers. Swing and a miss. He got him on a cut fastball. Second strikeout for Colome. He struck out both so far in this inning. Here's Victor Reyes, who really took away the base hit that could have changed everything last half inning off of the bat of Yoan Moncada. He's 0 for 3 in this game with a walk and a run scored. And a cut fastball high misses 1-0 the count. The Nationals beat up on the Pirates today 8-1. Inside changeup misses 2-0. The next pitch on the way. Swung on, ground ball. Madrigal sucks it up over to first base to Encarnacion. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Alex Colome. He gets them through 2 innings here. We've gotten to the bottom of the 11th. We need a run. The 4, the 5, and the 6 hitter are coming up for the Sox. Eloy Jimenez comes to the plate. Here in the bottom of the 11th inning, Jordan Zimmerman remains in the game. The first pitch, a check swing on the inside corner called a strike. He's 3 for 8 lifetime against Zimmerman with a home run. He's 2 for 4 in this game. Outside pitch swung on and missed at a slider 0-2. But the last at bat in this one now, he's been 0-2 in the count right away. Jimenez has not looked like the superstar that Sox fans want him to be. He looks like a solid ball player, but at this point, I wouldn't call him a superstar. A low slider misses. 1-2 now the count. Zimmerman finished off the 9th inning, got the last out in that inning. Pitched the 10th, and now here in the 11th inning, gives up a fly ball into right center field. Canicorn, Maben puts it away. There's one gone. Here comes Edwin. 0 for 4 with a strikeout in the 9th inning. 2 for 8 in this series with a run batted in. One gone here in the bottom of the 11th, and McCann on deck. The low inside fastball taken for a strike, 0-1 the count. Now he is 6 for 16 lifetime against Zimmerman with an extra base hit. And he lifts this one deep down the first base line, hooking just foul of the pole. Almost got that one out. 0-2 the count. And now a low slider misses. 1-2. 1-2 count to Encarnacion, who I think most of this fan base thought almost hit a home run just a few pitches ago. That was close. Now he swings and misses at a slider, and he goes down. 2 gone here in the 11th. James McCann comes to the plate, 1 for 3 with a single in the 9th. Hitting .343, 4 home runs, and swings and misses at a 4-seamer inside. 0-1. Jordan Zimmerman. I'm not kidding. It was hard not to just start losing it, because Edwin Encarnacion looked like he had a home run down the first base line there for just an instant. That ball just misses the pole. And then he comes back and strikes him out, and there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 11th. The Sox still trying to get that run they can win the game with. The walk-off run comes to the plate at every at-bat at this point. McCann's up there now, 1-2 in the count. Pitch number 31 for Zimmerman. Swung on and lifted into right field. It will be caught near the bar out there. And the inning is over. The Sox, 4 runs on 8 hits. Detroit, 4 on 7. We're going to the 12th inning here in Chicago. Evan Marshall's going to come in here in the top of the 12th inning, 25 games, 30 innings, 2.40 ERA. Righty's hitting .222 and lefty's hitting .254 against him. He's got 22 strikeouts and 5 walks. He's got a 4-1 record. Harold Castro's 1 for 5. The lefty, who's the 2-hitter in this game for the Tigers, will lead it off. First pitch low. That's a ball. 1-0 the count. It's a final in New York. The Yankees win 8-6 over Baltimore. The next pitch on the way. Outside corner swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Now a low 4-seamer misses. 2-1. The final in Tampa Bay. Oakland wins 8-3 over the Rays. 4-seamer fouled off. Count is even at 2. Marshall looks in. The pitch. Ground ball. Slow grounder to second. Madrigal unable to handle it. We're going to see what they're going to rule that. They're going to call it a base hit. He probably would have been safe anyway. He had to come running in on the grass. Perfectly placed little dinky ball. And the leadoff man is on. Meanwhile, in Houston, it's official. The Twins win 4-0. They're going to try to lay down a bunt. A curveball is fouled back. 0-1 the count. Miguel Cabrera trying to lay down a bunt here in the top of the 12th. Tell me this guy just doesn't want to win the game and be done. He'll do anything at this point. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Another bunt attempt. He's going to lay this one down the first base line. Encarnacion goes to second. He's going to get him back over to first. They won't get Cabrera. But Edwin gets the lead runner. He's going to make Miggy run now. There's one gone here in the top of the 12th, and here comes Shoop. Shoop is 2 for 4. And awaits the first pitch. Fouls it down the first base line. Sox have technically 2 relievers left in the bullpen in Cishek and Fulmer. Although we've been told that Cishek was not good to go today. This one popped up to second base. Madrigal underneath it. Waves everybody off, makes the catch, 2 gone. And on the bench they have Larry Garcia. And after that, everybody's played in this game unless you're a starting pitcher. Cameron Maybin's 1 for 4. He's got 2 outs and a runner on first and an inside fastball will call the ball. 1-0 the count. It'll be Mazara, Madrigal, and Robert, the bottom of the order, coming up next. Madrigal catches that, flips it to Anderson at second. And the inning is over. That's it for the top of the 12th. We go to the bottom of 12. The Sox looking for that run to end this game. Nomar Mazara comes to the plate 0 for 1 with a walk in the 9th inning. He did not start the game. Adam Engel did. He came in once the lefty starter was out. And the first pitch is ripped towards second base on a bounce. Cabrera's going to cut off his second baseman Shoop and flip it to the pitcher. And there's one gone. Nick Madrigal's 0 for 4. I would imagine extremely disappointed. He's had opportunities in this game to make an impact, and he has not been able to do so. He had an error yesterday. He's 0 for the series, and I would think he's going to be sat down tomorrow, as he is struggling a little bit. The rookie may need a break. He's 1-1 in the count here. Inside pitch from Zimmerman, 2-1. Jordan Zimmerman continues the pitch for the Tigers here in the 12th. They're playing the long game with Jordan. This one sent out into left field. Bad track taken at first, now tailing back near the track. It'll be caught by Reyes. First he came in, misjudged it, turned and ran real quick back to the wall. Until he slowed up there, I was kind of hoping that was hit a lot harder than I thought it was. Luis Robert comes in. It's quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 12th inning. He's 1 for 4, and he's 1-0 in the count. Inside pitch misses a slider, 2-0. Fulmer's not warming. It's going to be Marshall next inning. This pitch sent over to short, slow bouncer on the 2-hop. Back over to first. The inning is over. We're through 12. Neither team can find a way to get a run here in extras. Travis Demiritz hitting .208, 5 home runs and 14 RBI. They took a very good left-handed hitter out of the game, the pinch run. He did not come around and score, and now he's in the game playing. First pitch outside for a ball from Marshall, 1-0 the count. Now an inside pitch, four-seam fastball misses, 2-0. You got to go after a guy like this. Now he gets an inside sinker for a strike, 2-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch. Check swing, call the strike, 2-2. Swung on and missed, a changeup away. Marshall sits him down. One gone here in the top of the 13th inning. Jake Rogers comes to the plate, 0 for 5, grounded out in the 10th inning. The Sox did the intentional walk set up the double play ball, and it worked out for him. With runners on first and third. Rogers hitting into it, and now he's 0-1 in the count. This pitch away, swung on and missed a changeup, 0-2. Rogers purely in there really for defense. The Tigers, though, sticking with him back there behind the plate. They have not decided to do any pinch hitting, even in that big moment in the 10th. Four-seamer fouled off, count remains 0-2. Evan Marshall sitting on one out here on the top of the 13th. Pitched them through the 12th. That's his sinker inside, fouled off, count remains 0-2. The 8-hitter, Goodrum, comes up next. A high four-seamer misses. 1-2 now. Sox have the top of the order up. Here in the bottom of the 13th. Swing and a miss, and he's got him. 2 gone. So a nice piece of pitching in the second strikeout here for Marshall. And here comes Niko Goodrum, the shortstop. He's got 5 home runs in the season, 2 against the White Sox. Goodrum hitting .221 is 1 for 5 in this game with a single back in the 6th inning. The pitch from Marshall. Curveball down the middle called a strike, 0-1 the count. Looks in. Next offering, swung on and fouled off a changeup low and in. Quickly 0-2. Anderson, Moncada, Abreu. Sox hoping that's enough. In the bottom of the 13th inning. Pitch on the outside corner, he offered at it, they said. Another strikeout for Evan Marshall, and the inning is over. We're going to the bottom of the 13th inning. 8 hits apiece for these teams, 4 runs apiece. Let's try to break that up. Tim Anderson comes to the plate, 2 for 5 with a single, a double, and a run scored. We need TA to get on base. Jordan Zimmerman remains in the game, throws an inside slider for a ball, 1-0. He's up to 40 pitches now, out of the pen. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and lifted into left field. Dropping quickly. He can't make the play. Reyes tried to dive, and it goes off his glove. We'll take it. The leadoff man is on here in the bottom of the 13th inning. I would expect at some point he's going. But Moncada's going to have to get deep into the at-bat a little bit, or at least get through a few pitches, because they have tried to pitch out a couple times on White Sox runners. Yohan Moncada's 0 for 1. He did not start this game. .333 average, .967 OPS. He had Anderson on second with 1 out and almost had a base hit that could have ended this game a few innings ago, and a high inside pitch called a strike, 0-1 the count. As long as he is behind in the count, I don't know if Anderson goes out of fear of the pitch out, which the Tigers have employed a lot against the White Sox. A high pitch now misses, 1-1. Gardenhire, I'm sure, is aware of what Anderson can do. You don't want him to hit into a double play here, but you also don't want to make the first out at second base. Outside pitch, ground ball over to short. Maybe he should have been running. 6-4-3, and there's 2 gone. Here's Abreu. 2 for 5. He's got a single and that game-tying home run as the White Sox continue to shoot themselves in the foot at the plate all day long. Runners on, unable to get him in. Multiple double plays hit into. And we could be looking at the 14th inning here very soon. 1-1 count here to Abreu with Jimenez on deck. And he has not looked good the last few times he's come to the plate. Deep fly ball! Way back! This baby's gone! And Jose Abreu walks it off with 2 outs in the 13th inning! He buried it! Sox win! 432 feet! Jose Abreu comes to the plate triumphantly and is mobbed by his teammates on a walk-off home run! If you stuck around for this game, you're hugging somebody. Right down the middle, Zimmerman puts it. An off-speed pitch, Abreu lays back and puts this one out 432 feet into the night sky in deep left center field. That ball was crushed. It lands 4 rows short of the concourse. A no-doubter into the night sky. Fireworks still going off, and the White Sox have a walk-off winner here at Guaranteed Rate Field. Jose Abreu ties it up in the 8th inning with a 2-out home run and walks it off in the bottom of the 13th with 2 outs. The big man with the big hit, and the White Sox win this game 5-4 in 13 innings. Right after the double play, erases Anderson and Moncada with Abreu down in the count, just like he was before. When he ties this up, he takes it deep. He had 6 at-bats tonight. He had 3 hits, and 2 of them were solo home runs, the tying home run and the winning home run. And the Sox win this 5-4. Evan Marshall is your winner. He improves to 5-1 coming out of the bullpen. Jordan Zimmerman takes the loss. 3-5 on the season. They left him in there, 1 batter, too long. Jose Abreu with 2 home runs. The game-tying home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. The game-winning home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 13th inning. He is your player of the game by far. Tim Anderson goes 3 for 6 with a double and a run scored. Jimenez 2 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs. Danny Mendick, he went 0 for 2, but he got on base several times. Helped move the line along. Those were the notables. A rough start for Lopez, but the bullpen came in and never allowed another run. Everybody in that bullpen came in and pitched today with the exception of Carson Fulmer and Steve Cishek, and they did not allow a run from the 6th through the 13th inning until this White Sox offense could tie it in the 8th and win it in the 13th. And when I say White Sox offense, I say Jose Abreu. He was the man tonight in front of this crowd, and the Sox have won 3 in a row, and that is a big win for this team. My name is Chris Lanuti. My thanks to our sponsors, Cork and Carry at the Park. Get the post-game, all the wrap-up at SoxOn35th.com, and we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a regular Sox in the Basement broadcast, our first one since the pandemic started, as we believe life is starting to come back, and it's time to get things going here at the bar, okay? We're going to get things going again here at the bar. Myself, my buddy Dave, we're going to talk about what's going on in Major League Baseball. We're also going to tell you what happens in the simulation tomorrow, so you'll get that score in the recap. We'll talk about it a little bit. We're also going to talk about the MLB and MLBPA, what's going on with that, the fact that the governor of Illinois says you can bring people into the ballpark as long as MLB says it's okay. I thought that was very interesting. I read that. So we've got lots to talk about. We will talk about it with you. Sox win 5-4 in 13. Jose Abreu is the man. This is Sox in the Basement, the podcast for fans by fans. Found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at SoxInTheBasement.com. Bye-bye, everybody.
Sox in the Basement. Sox in the Basement. Sox in the Basement.
Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always on SoxInTheBasement.com.